Hey, what's good, fam? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Today, we're talking about Alabama's summer enrollees. We're going to start with five-star prospect Dallas Turner, who is now checked in to Tuscaloosa. But before we get going with this video, definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. We appreciate you more than you know. Dallas Turner comes in, one of the highest rated prospects from the class of 2021. As you can see, we're going to play a couple of these highlights from some of the summer enrollees. And one thing that I really like about Dallas Turner is his ability to get to the quarterback. Now, I know that Alabama is stacked at the outside linebacker position. You have William Anderson coming back for his sophomore season. You have Chris Allen, who's returning for his redshirt senior season. You got Drew Sanders. You got Chris Braswell, a ton of guys. But I think it's exciting when you look at Dallas Turner because you look to that quality depth and you kind of look to the future of this program. You look to the future of this defense. It's so important to continue to fill up that outside linebacker position with guys who can get after the quarterback. When Alabama's defense can get after the quarterback, Alabama is almost impossible to beat. So key addition coming in with Dallas Turner. The next player we're going to talk about is Kamar Wheaton, another five-star out of the state of Texas. And straight up, we all know that Alabama running back room is completely stacked. Nothing wrong with having the best compete against the best. I think it's going to be interesting to see how many reps that Kamar Wheaton does generate this coming season. We have a video talking about, some of the pass running backs at Alabama that have come in. I think it was Josh Jacobs who had over 500 yards his freshman year, but usually those freshmen probably see 30 to 40 carries, look for 300 yards. But as you can see, Kamar Wheaton, home run hitter every single time he gets the football. So important to get these type of dynamic running backs in. Cannot wait to see Kamar Wheaton in an Alabama uniform. Next up, you got Khyree Jackson coming in. And I think the thing that you have to look at is his size. 6'3", almost 200 pounds coming in. And Khyree Jackson is a playmaker. I think this is one guy that's certainly going to push for immediate playing time. I know that Alabama recently had some corners transfer out, Brandon Turnage, Ronald Williams, but Khyree Jackson, I honestly think could be the missing link to this defense. I know Jalen Armour-Davis had a big spring. You got Kool-Aid, JaQuincy McKinstry there in the fold as well, but Khyree Jackson coming in, and I think he can add an immediate impact to this defense, which is already stacked. Can't wait to see Khyree Jackson and his size go up against some of these bigger wide receivers because I think it's important to have some size, some length. You look at the success that Patrick Surtain had at Alabama. Khyree Jackson, a little bit bigger than Patrick Surtain, believe it or not. Probably not as athletic because Patrick Surtain, an absolute monster. But my point is you have these bigger corners coming into the program. I think it's really important, especially at that corner position where Alabama needs to tighten up. Terrion Arnold, this guy, 6'1", 191 pounds. Look, I know you guys are super excited about JaQuincy. So am I. Terrion Arnold, basically that same type of talent coming in, which is absolute crazy. But I promise you, Terrion Arnold has the ability to simply make plays, whether he's at the corner position, the star position. This guy has a nose for the football. Great two-sport athlete, one of the top basketball players in the state of Florida. You look to players who just have that innate ability to change the momentum of the game. Terrion Arnold is that guy. We've seen him at corner, played wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner, whatever you want him to do. He's simply going to get it done. I cannot wait to see him line up, get some playing time. This guy is something special coming in. Alabama landing JaQuincy and Terrion Arnold still blows my mind just because of the fact that these two guys, some of the top multi-talented athletes in the entire Southeast, probably in the entire country. You see Terrion Arnold right there going up at the receiver position. So I know you're super excited about these summer enrollees coming in. Definitely circle Terrion Arnold and let's track his progress during his freshman year. I'm going to leave you with this final clip of him returning this punt, taking it to the his house. Arnold is that big-time special playmaker coming to Alabama. Speaking of playmakers, you got JoJo Earle, one of the top players in the state of Texas, coming to Alabama, 5'9", 170 pounds. I'm telling you, this guy could get on the field sooner than later because I think that Alabama is looking for a slot to really step up and be able to add to this wide receiving unit. Yes, Alabama has so much talent at the receiver position, but no guys like JoJo Earle, to be honest. I think that JoJo Earle has that special ability to make people miss, to extend plays, be that guy who could probably catch, 40, 50 balls if used correctly. And look, no disrespect to any of the slots that are currently on the roster, Slade Bolden, Christian Leary. I just think that JoJo Earle has this extra ability to be a key slot guy, right? The slot position is a specific position that you really need some shake and bake, and JoJo Earle has that. I mean, look at him in the Wildcat formation, making people miss, making defenders miss. I think Christian Leary is a great option. I think Slade Bolden is very capable, but JoJo Earle, I like him to get on the field this year as a freshman. How about Damon Payne coming over from Michigan, the #1 player in the state of Michigan? Nick Saban goes up to the Midwest in a COVID year and gets Damon Payne. This guy coming in is an extremely big boy, ready to play instantly. Now, look, when you look to Alabama's defensive front seven, you look to the defensive line, completely stacked with a lot of guys who actually have experience but are still young, right? You got some sophomores, some juniors in that rotation. So those guys are going to get older. Damon Payne's going to get acclimated to the system. I don't know how much he's going to play. I don't know how much any of these freshmen are going to play, but I'm telling you, Damon Payne, I think, has an ability, if his name is called on, to step on the field and contribute. He's that good. And how about this? This was amazing. Alabama loses Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. And what do? They go out to class of 2021 and they land another Devontae Smith. Yes, Alabama is getting another Smitty out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the last Devontae Smith out of Louisiana. So what's Devontae Smith bringing to the table? Well, you look to him as a secondary player. Right here, you see him at the safety position coming up, making the play, and you're going to probably see him at corner, safety. I'm curious to see what they do with Devontae Smith, because Devontae Smith is a player that played on both sides of the football. I don't think he's going to play wide receiver at Alabama. I think he's strictly on the defensive side, but still amazing that Alabama's able to go out and add another Devontae Smith. Couple more guys to get through. How about Kendrick Blackshire, 6'2", 245 pounds. Now, when Alabama landed Kendrick Blackshire's photos basically broke social media. We're going to show some of those photos now. Here's what he looks like in an Alabama uniform. This was during one of his visits to Tuscaloosa, but check him out in his high school jersey. My goodness, looks like one of the most diesel high school football players I've ever seen, right? So out of Duncanville, another big-time prospect in the state of Texas. Nick Saban did such a great job in Texas. Kendrick Blackshire adding depth to that interior linebacking unit. Of course, going into the season, it's Christian Harris. You got Henry To'oTo'o. You got Shane Lee, Jalen Moody, but Kendrick Blackshire also in the fold. Tim Keenan coming on board out of Birmingham, Alabama. This is a big boy, 6'2", 325 pounds. A defensive tackle coming to the Crimson Tide. You also got Kane Williams out of Louisiana, 6'2", 215 pounds. Really exciting safety with some big hitting ability. Kadarius Callaway, 6'1", 210 pounds, out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. Now, he was formerly committed to the Bulldogs before committing to Alabama. Jaden Roberts, a big man, 6'5", 330 pounds, also out of the state of Texas. And then you also have Anquan Barnes out of Montgomery, Alabama, 6'5", 310 pounds. Don't let that three-star fool you. Anquan Barnes come into play. Alabama also has some transfers coming in. You know, Henry To'oTo'o, who transferred from Tennessee to Alabama, is going to be added to that inside linebacker unit. Henry To'oTo'o, a lot of people excited about him. Same with Jameson Williams, played against Alabama in the national title game, transferred from Ohio State to Alabama. And then you have Jack Martin, who transferred from Troy. He's a punter coming to the Crimson Tide. Hey fam, well thank you very much for watching this video. Definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and check out some of these other videos you might like right here on BamaInsider.com.